Today on New England Living, what drives one of the biggest names in all of golf? We'll go behind the scenes for a special tour of one of the game's biggest brands. And we'll visit a community of artists dedicated to their craft and to each other. Plus, a Boston-based hat shop inspiring customers to express themselves through wearable works of art. It all starts right now on New England Living. New England is full of adventure. I can't believe you guys are letting me do this.
Up and away.
Look at that. Oh, you just did your first takeoff.
Join me as we discover the people and places that make us so unique.
This is it. You can't find it anywhere else in North America.
I mean, does it get any better than this? Love the place you call home with New England Living. Thanks for joining us today on New England Living. I'm your host, Rachel Holt. First on the tee box, we're heading out to New Bedford for an inside look at a global golf brand born and based right here in Massachusetts. According to Vice President of Golf Ball Operations Kevin Corando, the idea for Titleist all started in 1932 after a missed putt.
Our founder, Phil Young, was playing a round of golf at one of the local golf courses. He struck a putt that he felt was struck perfect, and he missed the putt. He was golfing with a friend of his, a dentist. So they took the golf ball back to the dental office, they x-rayed it, and they said that center is not where it needs to be. And that's really how it all started. And in 1935, we introduced the first Titleist branded golf ball and never looked back. It was history in the making.
That's funny because when I miss a putt, I like to blame the golf ball too.
You're not going to blame it on this golf ball.
What does this do for the area?
We're the largest employer of a manufacturing operation in the greater New Bedford area. All of our resources are located within a 15-mile radius. We have over 1,300 associates in all of our facilities that are located here in southeastern Mass. There's a lot of history, there's a lot of family stories. My dad worked for the company for 44 years before I started here at Acushnet company. I have 31 years. We're all very proud of this brand. We believe in what we're doing, the quality that we put into it, and it's just a passion for what we do.
The Titleist golf ball plant in New Bedford is home to the world-famous Pro V1 and Pro V1X, manufacturing over 300,000 balls a day. What goes into making the #1 ball in golf?
It all starts out with the mix. From mix, we have to extrude into something that we can actually mold that into a core. Then we bring that on to our cast urethane process, where we put our proprietary urethane cast cover over the ball. Then naturally, it goes in for our stamping. We brand it, paint it, and then as always, as we've done historically, we finish with our X-ray process. That X-ray process was instituted back in 1935 when Phil Young was here to ensure the quality of the product, quality of the placement of that center and core within the ball, and we do that today.
And I get to go inside and see what that's all about.
Absolutely.
For that, we met with tour guide Patty Sands. Okay, this is where it all happens. This is where the golf balls are made. What is the first step in the process?
The first step in the process where we are right now is our mixing operation. We're gravity feeding the polybutadiene rubber grades and other activators to make the core material for our golf ball. So as you can see, coming out of the extruder at the base is the material that's happening, and this is the material we have right now.
Squishy.
Right.
Hard to believe that this is going to be a golf ball.
Eventually that will end up being a golf ball.
Wow. It all starts with a mix, then onto extrusion where things really start taking shape.
After we've made this prep at extrusion, we're at core presses where we're going to load it with the preps to make our core of our golf ball.
Now we're looking like a golf ball.
Exactly, and you can bounce it.
Extruded blanks are then compression molded into cores, which are then ready to move on to the final stages of the process.
So here we are, Rachel, at the end of our manufacturing process. Our golf ball is completed. Beginning where we had that small piece of rubber at our mixing operation to our final step of our X-ray of our golf ball, making the #1 ball in golf.
There you have it. But before any Titleist golf balls are mass-produced, prototypes are made and tested at their research and testing facility in Acushnet, where Rich DiPrato helps collect and pass data onto the team's engineers. As far as the layout, what goes on in the different areas in this facility?
We own 152 acres here. There's 21 acres inside the fences and about 11 acres of turf that we have to manage. Where we're walking now is the testing fairway, and we have this very large flat putting green that we built in 2016. The fairway adjacent to us is where they do the golf ball fittings and golf club fittings. What began as an R&D proving ground has evolved into a multi-purpose facility.
At the heart of their testing and research is a robot, built to replicate the exact same shot over and over again. This robot will make you feel really bad about yourself if you're a golfer. It's hitting this ball perfectly every time. What are you looking for?
If we're at the prototype stage in golf ball research, we're looking at the differences between constructions. What was the spin difference? What was the launch angle difference? Was there a speed difference? Things like that. We take other measurements, for example, how high did the ball fly and where did it reach its peak height? We also measure carry, how far the ball flew, and then how far the ball rolled out. If we're studying our golf balls from manufacturing, we're looking at kind of a quality sense of things. Like, is it consistent from month to month? When we look at spin rate, when we look at ball speed, when we look at launch angle, are they staying consistent as we test them? We also spend a bunch of times testing competitive product. We want to see what our competitors are doing, how we benchmark with them, how they're improving perhaps, and what we can possibly learn from them.
In addition to the robots, you have live golfers here. What are you looking for when they hit a golf ball?
We look at how they're delivering the club head, we look at how the golf ball is performing, and we put that in a database, and then we mine it later on. So we want to know how the game of golf is being played, so we can design and test golf balls around how golf is being played.
I noticed you were taking golf balls out of what looks like a refrigerator, so what's the story behind that?
Yeah, it's not really a refrigerator, it's what we call an incubator, where we condition golf balls. The materials that golf balls are made of are very susceptible to temperature changes. For example, if a golf ball gets cold, if you're playing golf in the wintertime, you're going to lose some ball speed, you're going to lose a little bit of spin. So a good tip is to keep your golf balls in your pocket and don't leave your clubs in the trunk of your car, because temperature will affect how a golf ball performs.
You grew up here, you live here, you work here. What has this company been able to do for the area?
There's so many people from Greater New Bedford that work here and provide for their families for generations. We know people we grew up with, we went to school with, we'll run into in manufacturing. I feel blessed to have worked here 27 years. To see things come from prototype stage to being aired on the PGA show, and next thing you know, the factory worker and the R&D technician who hits these golf balls out here on Sunday afternoon, they tune in and they see Titleist golf balls being played on the PGA Tour.
Coming up after the break, we'll visit one of the largest independent artist communities in America, based right here in Massachusetts, when New England Living returns after this.